Welcome to the Mount Pleasant podcast, featuring discussions and interviews about the people, places, and events that make Mount Pleasant such a special place.
This is the Mount Pleasant podcast. I'm your host, Brian Cleary, and all thanks to the great people at Mount Pleasant Magazine, I get the honor, the privilege of introducing you to Mount Pleasant, the people who make it such a special place to do business, to work, and even to live. We're introducing you to Mount Pleasant's best on the Mount Pleasant podcast. I'm Brian Cleary, and we're joined by the marketing director of the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre. Kathi Herrmann is going to be our guest today. Shopping, events, restaurants, maybe some stories from behind the scenes. We're going to introduce you to all of it today as part of our Mount Pleasant podcast. We welcome to the Mount Pleasant podcast, Kathi Herrmann. Kathi, we welcome you to the Low Country, although you've been around a while. You've been with the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre for more than 5 years, right?
Yes, 6 years on February 8th was my 6th-year anniversary here.
And you proudly come from New York, Long Island area, right?
I do. Long Island, New York. Yes. I love being here. Best thing we ever did. Mount Pleasant is certainly my home.
So as the marketing director of the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre, a lot going on there. Can you go in, it precedes you, but a little bit about the history that you know as far as how the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre got its place here in the Low Country?
Sure. Well, we opened in April of 1999, if you can believe it. So we are starting that would be 23rd year in business. One of the first stores that was open here was Bed Bath & Beyond and Barnes & Noble, which I always find funny. I think the first lease signed was Bed Bath & Beyond as well. I do know that, again, before my time, but I do know that there was a lot of water here, and that all had to be filled in to be able to place the Belk building. And throughout the 23 years that we've been open, they've added additional buildings like the R House building, the Pier 1 building, the Belk Men's building, and the parking deck, and of course, the beautiful hotel that opened up 2 years ago. So we're continuing to expand. It's beautiful. We're so blessed with all of the amazing stores we have here, and some of them are so unique to the Mount Pleasant area. We have the only Peloton store in the area, the only Lush store in the area. Of course, some of our restaurants, Malika. If you have not been to Malika Pakistani Canteen, you are certainly missing out on some amazing food.
So let's go 23 years. If you've been doing something for 23 years, whatever it is, you got to be doing something right. People who listen to the podcast, maybe they're from Somerville and haven't been to the town center, or they're tourists. They're coming down. They're trying to find out what's going on. So let's start with your place, the anchor stores that folks will see and visit when they come to the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre. Which would they be?
Sure. We're anchored by Belk, and our Belk is so big, the main Belk building, that it actually just houses women's home furnishings, children's jewelry, and cosmetics. The entire men's collection that Belk has is located in a separate building, which is the Belk Men's Store, which is across the parking lot from our original Belk store. We have a Bed Bath & Beyond. We have an Ulta. We have a Rack Room Shoes. We have a Barnes & Noble as our main anchors, plus, of course, our Regal Palmetto Grand Movie Theater, which is currently undergoing a renovation. So we're very excited about that as well.
And people who have come to the town center recently, you talk about that Belk building, the different building. That was part of a big construction project that included the hotel. So you guys have always been in a constant state, almost, it seems, of upgrade and making the place a better place.
Oh, absolutely. And this is just the beginning, Brian. A new ownership group took over in February of 2020. We were bought by a private company, Continental Realty Corporation out of Baltimore. They have incredible ideas and amazing plans for this property. So be on the lookout for some exciting news coming soon.
We appreciate you joining us today on Mount Pleasant Podcast. I'm Brian Cleary. We're joined by the Director of Marketing for the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre. Kathi Herrmann is with us. And Kathi, one thing that people think these days about shopping, and particularly for you being involved with retail, and maybe you could address this, I just go online. All I do is shop Amazon. I never go to stores anymore. Obviously, people are coming to the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre, so that can't be all of it. Not all shopping is done on Amazon.
No, Brian, and I'll tell you, the 2021, we ended 2021, 90% of our stores had the best years they've ever had since they opened in 2021. So while, yes, I do think there's always going to be people that would rather buy their clothes or whatever they're buying in their pajamas on their computer, the one thing that will never change is look and feel and touch and social. right? So I think people have been locked up for so long. Who does not want to get outside? Who does not want to go for a cup of coffee and then go shopping, go to lunch, go shopping, talk to their friends, their parents, their spouse, whoever they're shopping with? And it makes such a big difference. And I think the boutiques and the stores that we have here really make it for a much better shopping experience. And the way the property is laid out, it's so easily walkable. It's free parking. I mean, there's just no reason not to come.
And I hate to almost bring it up, but I have to, we can touch on it a little bit. COVID obviously affected everybody. And you being in the retail businesses, every business got affected. It was a bump that obviously if the stores are up, you work through it. But there had to be a lot of behind the scenes things going on. You had to be juggling a lot of things at once. Well,
sure. I mean, I think like everybody else, what's going to happen for a couple of weeks, right? We're all shutting down for a couple of weeks.
Right.
That's what everybody originally thought. We said, we can manage this, and our restaurants never closed. Our restaurants always stayed open for takeout, which was amazing. Unfortunately, I had to let go of most of their staff, but they did fulfill the takeout. So those the restaurants never closed. Then some of the stores realized, well, I don't have to close either. I could do curbside delivery. So stores such as Wine Cellar, Sweet Juleps, even some of the retail stores, people would call, ask them to place their order. They would do things on FaceTime around the store. And then whoever was working in the store would pack it up and bring it to the curb. So we were very blessed, I think, with our layout that we're an outside shopping center. So we never physically shut down. We did not have doors to lock, which was great. But of course, the 2 weeks went to 2 months, went to, 2 years. But I think everybody handled it really, really well. And again, we started to implement all of our plans were thrown in the trash in 2020. And as you know, we do so many events with you, Brian. I mean, we had to take our biggest event of the year, Lights Up, and we had to make it virtual, which made nobody happy. But, we still wanted to bring that experience to all of our guests. So we followed all the guidelines, made sure we were doing everything that we were supposed to do. And then we were able to start bringing back some of our outdoor events in fall of 2020, socially distanced, of course. But now we're back. We're back full swing.
Well, let's segue into that since we mentioned events. First of all, right across from the Barnes & Noble, there's an area people may not yet be familiar with it, but it's been in place a little while. Under the oaks there, you have events there. You've got the end of the year, the tree lighting. So let's look ahead on your calendar. What's coming up in the next couple of weeks and months at the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre?
Well, we've got a really busy spring. I'm really excited about it. And as you mentioned, like Brian, the Oaks, that was actually built a few years ago. It has our stage. It has a grass area. It's under a gazillion-year-old oak tree that has lit orbs in it. It's really a beautiful space to be, and which is where we, again, hold most of our events. The spring is really busy. We start with Art Fest with the town of Mount Pleasant on March 12th, which is a celebration of all the arts, local dance performances, activities for the kids, arts and crafts, etc. And then we go into our spring, April and May. We have every Wednesday in April and May our outdoor free fitness series with Athleta. That's every Wednesday at 6:00, April and May. Then in April and May, every Thursday night, we have our free Live Under the Oaks concert series that we host different kinds of bands every Thursday night for 2 months. We have our Fido Fest, another fun one that we get to work with you on, that we've been doing for the last 6 years. We love it. That's on April 23rd. And that's just a handful of the things that are going on. And it will continue to grow. We're looking to plan some new summer events that we've never done before. And I don't even want to think about fall yet, but that's going to be that's just going to be just insane. But there's always things going on. We also just launched, very excited, our new website. It was a long time coming, and it was worth every minute of the wait. MountPleasantTowneCenter.com, brand new, our new logo. So we're changing, we're upgrading, and everything's looking great.
Everyone's talking about real estate. The conversation continues with Voice for Real Estate podcast. Listen and learn from the experts who call the Carolinas home. Podcast advertising gives your business a voice of authority. Be heard. Advertise on this podcast. Visit voiceforrealestate.com.
You're listening to the Mount Pleasant Podcast.
And I was looking on the website after you changed it, and not that your website was bad before, but when
no, it was bad, Brian.
Well,
it was bad.
All right, I was trying to be nice.
No, we can admit it was bad.
In comparison now, I mean, this website pops. It's very easy to navigate, and it's just bright. It's friendly. It makes you want to go to the next page and search for something else.
I agree 100%. That was one of my most important things I wanted to do, was to get a new website, and to then bonus throw in this beautiful new logo too, with the gardenia. The colors palette's gorgeous. So you're going to be seeing a lot of new things from Town Center. You just got to give us a little bit of time to get everything caught up, because we all know when you change a logo, you don't remember how many places it actually is. So we're working on that, and we should have everything updated in the next 6 months or so.
And I know we don't want to look too far ahead, but I do need to point out two things in the fall. One, every year you guys do a great event around breast cancer awareness that sells out. It's such a good thing. And then, of course, the end of the year lights up. When this really brings Christmas to the Mount Pleasant area. It may be happening at the town center, but that's the kickoff of Christmas. And there's so much involved in there. So those are two things I think people do need to. I know I'm sure you started playing them already, but you have those kind of regular events, annual things that happen at the town center.
We do. And, they become an annual event because I believe they're so successful. So our breast cancer awareness that you mentioned is called Pink Promenade. And this will be our 4th annual. And it's an amazing event that's held again outside under the oaks, featuring a fashion show with local breast cancer survivors as models. And we do this in partnership with Roper St. Francis Foundation. And it's become like the hottest ticket in October. And we limit the amount of tickets for sale to make it a special VIP event. And I believe it's going to be October 15th this year, but that information will come up on the website probably over the summer. But again, it's something not to miss. And as you said, lights up. It's grown, this will be my 7th one, and it has grown exponentially in the last 7 years. I hear great things about it. People mark it on their calendars, always the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So this year it will be November 19th. Mark your calendars for November 19th. And we just love everyone, the comments I get from people and their families when they say, this is how we kick off our holidays. We come every year. We wouldn't miss this for the world. And as a marketing person and someone who takes so much pride in what she does and about this property, those are the kinds of things we love to hear. And that's what makes me continue to add more events and continue these annual events.
Don't mean to be selfish about that, but that is my favorite event of the year. It's just so much fun, so much going on. And you always have music there. And let me just jump and go back to the Under the Oaks thing. Mm-hmm. The music, some of the performers that you've had there at the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre, it's a wide variety. It's local people, but there are some really, really talented folks that come out for those concerts. Why not tell us about a few of your favorites?
Oh, well, I don't want anyone to get upset with me, so I'm not going to do them in any order.
Okay.
But we work with Orndor Green, and they are the ones that produce the concert series with us and provide us with the artists and with the equipment and sound systems, etc. And Eddie White's always been so good to me, and he's been getting us some great people. David Higgins is one of my favorites. He is just so entertaining to me, and I just found out that he'll be back in April, which makes me very, very, very happy. There was a wonderful new duo that was featured last fall. They were called Lynn Avenue. And they were, people were saying, where did this couple come from? They are just absolutely incredible. Gravel Road, again, one of my other favorites, as you know, because they've been playing our lights up for the last few years. I love the fiddle, and I just love the way that they sound. So Live Under the Oaks will go country, rock, pop. We've had jazz, we've had trumpets. We try to fill in for all the different genres. And this spring, we're going from 4 weeks to 8 weeks. So it used to be just May. We've extended the concert series now to April and May because of its success. So you have 8 weeks this spring to come out and join us. And we'll have a different food truck every Thursday night, and beer and wine from Burton's Grill. So it's really become a great tradition for people.
That's why we can say that going to the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre is more than just shopping. You can really make it an experience. I'm Brian Cleary. Thanks so much for tuning in today. This is the Mount Pleasant Podcast. We're talking with the marketing director of the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre, Kathi Herrmann. Now, Kathi, going to the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre, let's talk a little bit more about that experience. My favorites, the food experience, a lot of different restaurant choices there. You mentioned early on a Pakistani restaurant. So it's not just a hot dog burger place. We can get some really good food.
You get some fantastic food. We are really turning into a restaurant destination here in Mount Pleasant. Not only do we have Malika, a little locally owned Pakistani restaurant that just opened, but of course, Savvy Cucina and Wine Bar. They just received, I don't know how many awards from Mount Pleasant Magazine, the best of this, the best of that, the best of this. And they are owned by a local Mount Pleasant couple. Some of the best Italian food you will get in this, not just Mount Pleasant, but in the entire Charleston area. We have a Burton's Grill. We have a Longhorn Steakhouse. We have P.F. Chang's. We have a new Zoe's Kitchen has closed, and they've been purchased by a new company called Cava. So all of the all of the Zoe's Kitchens will now become Cava's, which is another kind of Mediterranean restaurant. Our Cava will be opening in the next few weeks, middle of March. We're really excited about that. For your sandwiches, we have John Smith Subs, we have Hustle Smoothie Bar. Just a really unbelievable Grimaldi's Pizzeria. And of course, there's lots in the works that we're not allowed to discuss yet, because I don't discuss things until they're signed or else I get in trouble.
Come on.
But know that is, but please know that the restaurants and bars and things like that are a very important target for some of the spaces that we have here at Town Center, and obviously just a very important priority moving forward.
I wanted to give you the opportunity that we broke news here on Mount Pleasant Podcast, the newest since yet unrevealed tenant, coming to the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre, and now you're not going to be able to tell us.
You know what, Brian? I can whisper it to you, but every time I say something or give a clue or anything, then something happens. So whether it's I jinx it or whatever happens, until that ink is dried, I don't say a word. But I'll be happy to update everybody after. I'll send you a little note and I'll update you once I'm able to tell you. But yeah, we're very, very excited about some of the things that are coming forth. And as I mentioned earlier, some of the plans that the new ownership group has for the property. Just know that they are just an amazing company to work with. And they have a lot of ideas and a lot of plans to make Town Center even better than it already is. So, and they're buying some more stuff, buying some more properties here in the Mount Pleasant area. They just bought the 6 apartment complex that's behind Harris Teeter and on 17. So they have both commercial and residential properties. So they've got a lot of great plans, and we're really excited to share them with everybody.
And one other thing people may or may not realize about the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre, and this is good for you personally, I know, because of your love of furry four-legged friends, but the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre is certainly pet friendly, and you guys go out of your way to even help organizations and pets.
Well, I have to tell you, Brian, so Kay Herrmann, I think everyone knows Kay Herrmann from the Charleston Animal Society. If you don't, you need to know who Kay Herrmann is. Well, we just did our Pup Bowl 5 this past, about 2 weeks ago, the Saturday before the Super Bowl, which we do every year. And it's the cutest football game you could possibly ever imagine. And of course, the focus is adoption of puppies, as well as raising funds for Charleston Animal Society, getting the word out, et cetera, because every dime helps. Excuse me. So Kay Herrmann does this post on Facebook the day after Pup Bowl, calling me out, thanking me personally for everything that I do for the animals. And that made my heart swell like you couldn't imagine, because I do have a big soft spot for our four-legged friends. And I try to do everything I possibly can to raise money for them and for other organizations, because I think it's really important. But yeah, we do, Brian, now 6 Paws on the Patios a year, which is a happy hour at Burton's Grill to benefit Charleston Animal Society. We do Pup Bowl, we do Fido Fest, and we do Fall Festival. All of those events all raise money. 100% of the donations go to Charleston Animal Society. So yeah, I've got a soft spot for them for sure.
Well, knowing you as I do, because you and I are friends, I have to let everybody know there's two things that you need to know about Kathi. One, and you got to talk about your furry four-legged friend as well. You're a great dog lover. And 80s and rock and roll music.
Yes.
Bring it. Kathi brings it better than anybody.
Well, Rick Springfield. I just got to see Rick Springfield at the PAC. Wow. I mean, that was amazing. I had so much fun. So, I mean, yeah, Brian knows my odd music. I mean, I love everything from heavy metal to Rick Springfield. So, but mostly the older stuff, anywhere between 70s and 80s and mid 90s or so. But yeah, I mean, I love that. Got to see Kiss when they were here. That was an amazing time. And I am flying to New York in June to finally see the stadium tour with Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Joan Jett, and Poison, wow, which has been postponed. We bought the tickets in November of 2019. And then it was obviously postponed in 2020. Then it was postponed again in 2021. So now it's scheduled for June of 2022, and they say it's happening. So yes, I will be booking my flight to New York.
It will happen this time.
Yes, it will happen.
But I'm not going to ask you, and you don't have to talk about your Skid Row birthday party. That might be a little more than we could handle here on the Mount Pleasant podcast. Just saying. This is Brian Cleary. I'm joined by Kathi Herrmann. Kathi is the marketing director of Mount Pleasant Towne Centre. So as we wrap up here, Kathi, first of all, what's new? What's brand new that maybe somebody who hasn't been to the town center lately may not have experienced?
Sure. Well, again, I will say it until I'm blue. Malika Pakistani Canteen. It is located across from Barnes & Noble on the corner next to the Old Atlanta Bread. If you like flavorful food, you have got to come try it. It is absolutely delicious. And a lot of people don't know they're here. Once you do know they're here, you will continue to come back day after day after day. That's how amazingly delicious it is. As I mentioned, our Kava is going to be opening up soon. Something people don't know. We have a Tempur-Pedic store here. Not many people know that. They opened in the height of the pandemic. So they're located next to Lululemon. And I know a lot of my friends have Tempur-Pedics and say they're the best beds they've ever slept on. So I, again, wasn't sure people knew that they were here. And there's just so much more coming, Brian. Little Palmetto Pearl, an amazing, gorgeous little children's store. It is a Beaufort Bonnet Company signature store. It is the only one right now in this area, and it's owned by, again, a local couple, and they have the cutest baby clothes I have ever seen. So you can buy a dress for your daughter and the same dress for your daughter's doll. It is beyond. And they're located right next to Cycle Bar across from the hotel.
And as you go through the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre, this isn't your, hey, it's only for teens place to shop or for grandma, because you really there's something for everybody if you work throughout the town center.
Oh, absolutely. And again, one of the things I love about it here, Brian, is it's just so easily accessible. So you come in, you park wherever you want to park for free, which is great still, right? Free parking. Mm-hmm. Just start in one spot and do an oval, and you hit everything. There's so many, and you can make a whole day of it, with coffee and coffee in the morning, first watch, breakfast at first watch, which is delicious. Shopping, we have, of course, Stella Nova. You can get your hair done, the nail salon, you can get your nails done. You can go to the movies. There's just so many different things that you can do. And that's what we say, spend the day on the town because you can.
So check out the new website online. You'll be very impressed with that website. And then for folks who want to visit you on different days of the week, Kathi, what hours do the Mount Pleasant Towne Centre open?
Well, right now, if you a specific store you're looking for, you might just want to check their hours, because there still are some stores that are working on reduced hours due to staffing, because we all know that's still an issue for everyone. The standard hours for the shopping center are 10 to 9 Monday to Saturday and 12 to 6 on Sunday. But again, if you want to go to Athleta, I would just take a second to go check on our website what their current store hours are. Most stores are running about 10 to 8 during the week. So better to stick with those. But the movie theater, of course, is open later, and all the restaurants are open later.
So we're looking forward to Art Fest in March. We've got the Under the Oaks concerts coming up. We've got Fido Fest in April. There's a certain weekend in June. If you're looking for Kathi, you will not find her at the town center that particular weekend.
That particular weekend, if anything happens here June 24th, I don't care.
Well, Kathi, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today on Mount Pleasant Podcast.
Oh, it was so great, Brian. And I'm looking forward to all the events that we do together this year. They're just going to keep getting better than ever. So thank you.
And keep up what's happening in Mount Pleasant, wherever you go. For me, it's always the Harris Teeter. I'm just walking in the Harris Teeter. That's where my wife and I shop. Mount Pleasant Magazine is right there for me to pick up. And of course, MountPleasantPodcast.com is where you need to go. We are talking to the folks who are making a difference in the community, doing wild and crazy things maybe in the community, and are at the places where you'll want to go. And if you haven't learned about them yet, we're going to keep you up to date on what's happening. It's what it's all about. It's Mount Pleasant Podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for spending your time with the Mount Pleasant Podcast. Your community, your podcast. Listen to past and future episodes at MountPleasantPodcast.com.